Welcome back to Drone DJ. This year, we're doing things a little differently. Instead of doing the weekly news recap, we're doing a monthly news recap, and then every week we're hitting a specialized topic. So this is our first month of the year, and let's see what happened in January 2023 in the drone world. Obviously, Kirk went to CES 2023. So give us a quick rundown. What did you see at CES?
Yeah, so start off the year with CES, and it's getting back to where I think it was, pre-COVID. It was a lot more people last year. If you watched my vlog, I didn't post and I didn't do anything for the first year I went, but the second year was like I felt like there was at least twice as many people and twice as many booths that came this year. But yeah,
What drones did you see?
so we had Autel there, of course, and they released their new Max 4T drone, which is kind of going up against the M30 type, Mavic 3 Enterprise drones. And then
Here's a picture.
Yeah, and that's I saw a few of the drones. I felt like I saw a cool indoor use drone. It wasn't new. It's just like they kind of showing off there at another booth. I'm trying to think about there was a security drone there that wasn't that I think we saw that through Ting or something like that. That was there. Of course, Sony had AirPeak there, but of course, no one to talk to you about. No one to talk to about any of their stuff. And then, but yeah, there was also some like kind of some less quadcopter drone stuff and like kind of other type drone kind of items like autonomous type vehicles and like robots for assisting people. And then also, of course, I saw a one of those. They call them aerial ATV. I don't know what we call it. Little flying motorcycles fly. That had Ryse, called the Ryse Recon, took off and flew there at CES.
Not the Jetson one we covered last year?
No, not Jetson. It's a new company called Ryse. They actually started 18 months before. Well, I guess now 19 months beforehand. So, and they already have test flights going. They're building their third version of the aircraft. That's going to be their production model. Which is going to be really, really cool. Carbon fiber. And it's already pretty well. Like they sound like they have a pretty good user base already for it, which is farmers. So
interesting. Is it more like a sports or is it air transport?
So the way they describe it is the aerial ATV. So like they kind of their use case for is that instead of for farmers or ranchers, instead of taking an ATV or quadcopter side by side. I don't know where that came from. A side by side somewhere in their ranch, they could take this like aerial vehicle going there. And I think I have a video.
That one?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So it looks very similar to
the Jetson one.
What we've seen elsewhere. It's just, I mean, it's a little more. It actually seems, I think, more refined as a business standpoint than Jetson.
So if they're marketing as ATV, then it's more like a recreational vehicle.
It's more like but I think it's more like a you need to get somewhere, but they're really tailoring it towards ranchers, and they say they've been going to, this is the first like tech conference they went to. They were going to a lot of like agricultural type showcases and
did they say anything about price?
I think it's 150,000. Okay. So not cheap, but like also not terrible.
Your typical ATV is how much? 20, 30? Going after?
Yeah, probably. It depends. I mean, and then I think you also look at a side by side. The next version is going to have like areas for like equipment to be stored onto it. I think like probably underneath it or in the back. So like they're looking to build it out more than just being like just you carrying it, but also like you and some equipment. And it's kind of an interesting. I don't know. I feel like this is actually being able to talk to someone who's building one of these makes me feel a little bit more confident in these actually getting adopted. The price is steep, but the fact that they're going for agriculture, which we all know that agriculture is they're very not, I wouldn't say tech savvy, but they like innovation, and they've already been the first people to do a lot of innovation stuff. Like
I wonder, can they spray using this?
Probably. I wouldn't. I doesn't seem like they wouldn't. I don't know how much you could. I don't know. I don't remember what I think it's 250 pounds. I think it is of a payload. So, if an average person weighs maybe 180 or something like that, I don't know. Like
that's quite a bit of room. Yeah.
You got some good amount of room for probably sprayers, but yeah. So we saw, and they did a flight demo too. So which
Oh,
is
interesting. Outside?
yeah. What?
Outside?
Yeah, on site. Yeah, outside, just outside. CES. They were the first company to fly at CES.
That
So,
would be pretty
which
rare.
is they said they were doing demos. I'm like, oh, cool. I gotta make sure I get that in my day because I was only on the conference day, one day. I was doing, you meet with people before the event, and then you have the one day for media, and then so I only got like one attempt to watch them do their demo, but it seems super easy to fly. So I don't know, maybe this might actually work out. Who knows? They
Maybe
seem
this is on Kirk's agriculture drone business list.
just keep adding it on there. Keep adding it on there. Yeah, I think this was definitely the highlight of CES this year. So
Well, going back to mainstream market,
mhm.
Autel seems to be the only mainstream manufacturer that released a drone model, right, at
Yep.
CES this year.
And we had this argument going back and forth. We got to bring it up. Does it look more like the Mavic 3 Enterprise, or does it look more like the Mavic 30 or not Mavic, Matrice 30,
M30?
M30? I think it looks more like an M30 than a Mavic, but it's
It
definitely in
does.
between.
Yeah, it does, but the size is in between, right?
Yes, the size
It's
is in between
interesting
them and
because if
the
you look at the obstacle avoidance part, like that
mhm.
part looks like Mavic 3 Enterprise, but
Yeah,
then the
and the
back,
arms,
how
and then
the
the
arms
back.
are, and then also the gimbal with camera and sensors does look more like the M30. Are you getting a testing unit?
Yeah, we gotta communicate still with Autel about whether or not we can get a testing unit
A
for this because it
testing
would be
unit.
really cool to check it out and maybe even bring it to um, local PDs and see if this is an option because I know a lot of it seems DJI just really has that stronghold, and this seems
Yeah,
like
and
to
I
be
want
something
to
that's going to
see
push
the
forward.
accessories because they should, if it's in the enterprise class, then it should have,
Yeah,
the typical
yeah,
RTK, should have speakers, should have searchlight, all the typical accessories.
yeah. It has a port. I think it has a port on the top for accessories. They didn't
Hmm.
release any first party accessories there, but it has an access port on top, typical like USB-C, like port on top. Like doesn't the M30 have USB-C for
Yeah,
their
M3E has the USB Type C, and DJI released that as the third party SDK.
yeah. Yeah, they're focused. They didn't have like they had some accessories out there. They had it was mostly though just like they had the controller and they had like a little like it's not a controller but it's just like the screen, and so you can
Hmm.
like hand it out to people and like so you can have access to like the view of the drone, or
Right.
your multiple drones are out there and be
Did
able
they
to
say
watch this
when
stuff.
this is going out to the market?
I think first half of this year, I think I remember correctly.
Okay.
So it should
Okay.
be soon. Like it's not like they've been Autel's like they release their drones. They don't like tease them. They release them. So and they also had the Dragonfish dock
Yeah,
there.
the larger one
Yeah, which was
is the
new.
hybrid drone.
And that already came out. That's already coming out to select markets. They're just kind of it's not coming out to the US because of regulatory just yet. So they're still working on that. But it's
Yeah,
going out
that's
to
how it
select markets,
looks.
I think, over in Asia. And that was it's oh man, it's huge. I think Dragonfish, their dock is huge. Oh my gosh, it's so big. Um, so it's impressive what Autel's doing there. Like I'm always like seeing them because they didn't get they're built off of Autel Automotive, and so he mentioned that they have
The parent
their
company is a large automotive parts
yeah, and
manufacturer.
so
Hmm.
and they have roots here in the United States. Like they have manufacturing here in the United States.
Yep.
So they're a Chinese company, but they can move over to the United States pretty quickly and make Scadia run for their money with enterprise drones if they make that decision. So I think
I guess we'll
Autel
see
is
what
definitely one to
happens this
watch.
year.
Yeah, if they make that switch and move to the United States, which is, I mean, who knows if they will or not.
Well,
Yeah, it's
DJI
impressive.
was banned from CES this year. So there
Yes.
wasn't anything we could see from DJI at CES.
Yeah, I kept getting asked if I was going to go see DJI there. I'm like, they're not here, because they weren't able to come because of their was it what list is the blacklisted from whatever DoD or Department of Commerce or whatever it is.
Yeah, the
So
official message was due to human rights violation. Although I don't think there was any official explanation on what the company did about human rights
mhm.
violation.
Yeah, whatever that the reasonings are, because they're on that blacklist with the government, they can't show their stuff off at CES, which sucks, but I guess Autel's not complaining probably.
Well,
So
we did have a separate story just talking about potentially speculating what DJI could release this year. I mean, we know
yes.
January it's been a quiet time typically. Last year we did see announcements from Autel as well as from Skydio, but nothing major, not like the equipment was actually being ready to purchase. So also looking at the leaks we've seen last year for DJI, I guess here are some of the speculations. We talked about Inspire 3 several times last year because we saw leaks. We saw actually
Mhm.
some testing videos and pictures, but we haven't seen the official release.
We saw it
Also,
physically in their
yeah,
buildings, in
because
their
also Inspire 2 is being out for
so many
a
years.
few years without any updates.
Yeah.
So along the filming drone part, yes, Mavic 3, Mavic 3 Cine, both are great for filming in terms of the Micro Four Third camera, but in terms of interchangeable lens, right,
Want
and
that
that
Super
higher end
35,
filming,
or if you want a full frame, you gotta go Inspire, or you gotta go,
yeah.
more custom.
So let's see what happens with Inspire 3 and when or
Yeah.
if that
I
comes out.
think that's the I think I wanted to say, I think I should have it in there somewhere about like actual what month of the year it should have all these drones supposedly coming out. This is of course from
March,
March.
potentially. Yeah,
Yes, this is
March is a typical first drone of the year release for DJI, right?
yeah. So we'll see if these all come true. I mean, Deals Drone, who gave us this list again this year, gave us a list last year, and it was pretty spot on. I think all he missed was the M30. So
As the first one of the year.
yeah, well, he missed. I think he missed all the enterprise stuff, which is, I mean, the enterprise team has their stuff locked down, so I'm not surprised.
So we're speculating Inspire 3 in March and then
Mhm.
Air 3 potentially in May.
I want it so bad. This is the one I
So
want.
also from specs, I wonder like Air 3 has got to be between Mini 3 Pro and the Mavic 3, right?
It's got. I mean, well, how do you compare it to the Mavic 3 Classic? That's like the weird thing, is like, is it going to be better than the
Yeah,
Mavic 3 Classic or
I don't
worse?
know.
Like,
I don't know because right now pricing wise, Mavic 3 Classic is already pretty close. You know, Mini 3 Pro and Mavic 3 Classic, there's very minimum room in
it's a
between
couple
right
$100,
now.
I think. It's like $500, I think. So you got like just a little bit of room to play with that Air 3 to make sure all your drones are compatible, like have a price point.
Or
For
is it gonna be a 100 or so in between for every drone model?
maybe it will. I mean, I don't know. It's just gonna be a weird one, but I'm super excited to see like what they come out with. I think I gave some link, like some, I think maybe for its 4K 120, I think it was on my list there, for possibly having like a set or something that's on there. 34-minute flight time, 4K 120 maybe would be nice. 6K video, Active Track 5, and then it was like more than 20 megapixels on the camera. And I'm like, I think after that, I'm like, so did I just make the Mavic 3? Yeah, pretty much. Like I did. That's pretty much the Mavic 3 Classic. So
Well, let's see what happens.
yeah.
And towards the summer, so June is speculated to have the Matrix 350T. Now,
Yep.
we haven't seen update in that heavier class of drone from DJI on the enterprise, right? So M30 is
Yep.
great. I'm using M30T all the time. I'm also using the M3T all the time. But I've been shying away from M300 just because the amount of time that it takes to set up the larger drone just wasn't
Mhm.
justifying to me for the quality difference. So
Yeah.
definitely looking forward for an upgrade on the heavier enterprise drone from DJI, because right now the only one you can swap to heavier payload is the M600 from DJI, which is already obsolete. They're not producing it. It's been so many years since that it's been on the market. So I'm looking forward to having an enterprise one that can be in the same sort of weight category, right, as
Mhm.
the M600.
Yeah, this M350 is a little interesting on what's going to come out, especially with the T at the end of it, because the whole point of the
Thermal.
300 series is that you can
Well,
interchange that payload, right?
yeah, so you can get the
Yeah.
H20T, or you can get LiDAR, you can get different sensors, you can
Yep.
customize it.
So I'm wondering if they're going, maybe they're going away from that. Maybe this is not going to be interchangeable, or there's going to be something, at least one thing built in, the thermal, maybe, because having that T at the end always means thermal. But why would they have
But M300 already has the thermal sensor. They can already
Yeah.
go with the H20T.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting how that naming is a little interesting. And how,
Would be nice if you can
gonna
take
mean at the
heavier
end.
payload. Like
Yeah.
if you can do more customization, right?
Yep. It would be interesting to see what this one comes out. So
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
Another twist on the Mavic 3, Mavic 3S.
Just keep adding those things at the end of that 3, or just keep coming out with ones.
I'm surprised not seeing like a twisted or updated version on Avata.
No, that's too new. That just came out that just came out last year. Like I feel like
There's no
Avata's fine.
variation. I mean, there's only the goggle variation, right? But we don't really see
I wouldn't
see much on the Avata in terms of the drone variation.
I would expect something like either late this year or early next year before we like it's just like, when did that come out? Didn't that come out in spring? No, fall?
In July.
Yeah.
Well, it was announced I think towards August, and it became available towards the fall.
Yeah, so I mean later this year maybe. I mean usually they wait 2 years for Mavic 3 didn't get an upgrade, to S now until this year. So that's been almost 2 years.
But Mini 3 did have there was the Mini 3 Pro, and then
the Mini 3 Classic,
the regular Mini 3. Yeah.
Which I think they were working on those, I think, in tandem. So I wouldn't be surprised, because those are rumors of those of a Mini 3 and Mini 3 Pro even before the Mini 3 Pro was released. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was like from the start they wanted to have a Pro and a non-Pro version. So because I remember I saw boxes for the Mavic 3.
I'm just really hoping they could make the Avata under 250 or make a FPV drone.
Yeah, like Avata Mini, Avata Lite. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, so I don't have to have a spotter out there standing all the time, right?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, the Mavic 3S is also probably coming out this year. Are we going to see maybe Active Track 6? Is that how they're going to differentiate between maybe the Air 3 and the Mavic 3? Is
potential update on goggles. We did see the module update for Avata. You can get the module for just your FPV last year. And there are some, potential leaks on the cameras and gimbals, the RS3 Mini. So let's see what happens. Yep. Yeah, so let's see what happens in the gimbal market, because I think that's really tied up with the Inspire 3 release. So let's see what happens with Inspire 3. If that gimbal, is detachable, if that can become a mini gimbal on its own, right? With a camera.
Well, RS3 already came out. RS3 already came out this month. Yeah. So what else is there? Yeah, the Osmo Mobile 7, right, and the Pocket 3, which I heard I know so many people dislike the Pocket so much, but
I still like my Osmo Pocket.
Yeah, I have one. I have the first Pocket. It's okay. I ended up for the vlog on CES. I just went to a full on. I bought a Gorilla Pod and just put my R6 on it and did a full setup. I'm more confident with that, with a big setup, than I am with the little Pocket.
Yeah.
So
well, there's also the potential DJI dock. It was supposed to be available by Q4 of last year. That got pushed to Q1 of this year. But really, the big hurdle on that is beyond visual line of sight flight, waivers. That's the bigger part. Is if
I think
implemented.
That's going to be the big thing for all these dock products to come out.
And we're all waiting to see what really happens with the remote ID enforcement and how that actually works, right?
Yeah. What do you think this SE means, though? Do you think it's going to be a cheaper version of the dock for the M30, or do you think it's going to be for the Mavic 3?
I'm hoping it will be for Mavic 3. I really like the Mavic 3T, right, with the thermal for security. We've been using it just doing testings last year, because the megaphone on it is pretty loud. So really? I was even using it on our site when we had Christmas events. We actually had M3T with speaker just by the parking lot, playing welcome Christmas carols when people were driving in and guiding them where to go. It was great, especially when it got a little dark. You can see all the thermal heat signature. So everything is there. Right.
You can spot out the person and just go run over to them and just play Christmas music next to them.
Yeah, I mean, if you just put that in the box, then I don't have to fly it out all the time. If I can have it in the box and I can just send it up whenever I have visitors coming in,
That would be cool.
That's my welcome drone, right? I don't need to go out all the time. But again, they haven't delivered on the original DJI dock. It hasn't even started delivering. So let's see what happens.
Yep, we'll see what happens with the dock. I think that was I think it was the last product, right, for 2023. So,
Yeah.
and it'll probably be a sprinkle of other items. Like I'm sure there'll probably be another enterprise unit come in end of the year, and a sprinkle of other goodies that we missed before. So,
All right, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. This is my favorite story.
So, okay, so just a little background. Last year, we've been asking several times, if anyone had seen a drone actually delivering their package, either from Walmart or Amazon, and finally found this video from this guy who actually had his chicken wings delivered. So let's take a look. And I'll post the link in the video description down below.
Oh no, I don't hear it. I don't think you're sharing the audio through the stream.
Oh, is the audio not being shared?
Yeah, I'm not getting the audio.
Okay, I think that's just from all right, so I'll just narrate it. There's a drone delivering his chicken wings right now.
Yeah, so yeah, apparently his mom wanted chicken wings, so they ordered
And as you can see from the description, it's half of the wings, through a vehicle, half through the drone because the whole order was too heavy. I'm not sure how heavy the order is, but why could like Kirk, like you said, why couldn't they send 2 drones?
Why didn't you send 2 drones? Yeah, that was
Or
like
if
the whole
they're already sending a vehicle, why can't the whole order come in vehicle?
Yeah, like if you're gonna send a vehicle out there, just don't send the drone. Like it was really funny. There's just like
so anyway,
oh nice, he's gonna get the drone, and then it goes, oh wait, we're getting half of them in a car, half in a drone, and then they show up at the exact same time.
So I'm gonna put the video link in the description so you guys can watch it afterwards. But also to me is, I mean, how much does a typical delivery driver make from delivering one food order?
Probably a couple bucks. Depends on the tip. Yeah,
because they make mostly from the tips, probably.
Mostly from the tips. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it in college all the time. I think I did DoorDash in college all the time, and it was like I don't know. I would probably make like $4 or $5 in a delivery.
Just doing business planning here, how much did they cost to send a drone and a vehicle to deliver the chicken wings?
Well, I guess like for the drone, okay, well you have the drones and you have the personnel who are
the
running the drones,
right?
and the operators, and then you have the charge the drones. I'm sure it's more than $5. But yeah. Oh, it's pretty close.
And if it's a marketing stunt, then mention the name of the restaurant. That should help. Or put some kind of branding on the drone or on the bag.
Yeah,
I couldn't even see the name of the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's a yellow bag being dropped. I'm trying to think of what company does that. I'm blanking on it too right now. I think is it Wing? Is it Google's company that's doing that with the yellow? I think it's yellow bag and it drops it from their drone. I think that's Wing. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I might be wrong on the company name too, but I think it's Google's. I think that's who it is.
We have the first one at least.
We finally found. Send us more.
At least we got one. Yeah. So let's keep on it and see what happens this year.
I want to see every type of drone delivery this year.
And I want to see how many packages can that one drone deliver. Because in one vehicle, you can pick up several food orders. Right.
Yeah,
but from a drone, they can only deliver half of that one order.
But how fast is it faster though? I mean, not really, since the delivery driver and the car showed up at the same time. So
at least for this video, they arrived at the same time.
Yeah. So no idea.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So that's all we've got for you for the first month of 2023. Stay tuned for our special February topics. We're going to kick off with actually recapping on several of the major drone accidents, along with some accident investigation reports that were from last year. We just started seeing the detailed investigation reports coming out. So that will be our first special topic of February. And if you got any special topics or how-tos you'd like us to cover, please leave them in the description down below. And we'll see you back here next week.